points anyway. But we'll let him just go for as long as possible because I was disappointed.
It won't be super long.
A Tottenham fan,
it won't be super long because at the end of the day, the same thing I said last week was that I was conflicted. I was conflicted. The thing is, I can see both sides to the argument. One thing I will say, and I will not stop saying it, I've said it for as long as I've been on there. From the top down, this is the problem with the club. This is the issue with the club from the top down. No, they shouldn't have taken 2 weeks to come to that decision. The thing is, if he'd lost the Europa League, like I said, it's the same thing as I said last week. Remember, I was saying it. We spoke about it. I said to you, I'm conflicted. Sometimes I'm in, sometimes I'm out. But you see the line? There's 1 foot here, 1 foot there. I'm not the best one to ask because I can see. The thing is, I can see why they did it. It's the fact they took 2 weeks to do it. And again, as I was just starting off, I was saying that the club is rotten from the top down. It's from the top down. Yeah, we wouldn't be in these. Well, we wouldn't be in this situation. This mic here, you know, we won't be in this situation, in this predicament, if it wasn't for, you know, he would have been sacked if we'd lost. He would have been sacked immediately if we'd lost the Europa final, and I would have said because it would have been the worst season ever. Yeah, the worst season I probably in living memory, and we were bad in the 90s. The fact of the matter is, the stats are this: 40 games lost in 2 seasons, right? 22 this season, 40 games, right? He's had 101 matches, won 47, drawn 15, lost 39, a win rate of 47%. Poch, Conte, Mourinho had a Nuno. I know it wasn't long for Nuno. You understand? But the fact of the matter is, it's the league form that killed him. The league form killed him.
The league showed you how good you are. Yeah, you can get fortunate in the cup. Let's be honest. The league over 38 games, the league table would never lie.
Yeah, and it was.
The fact you finished 17th?
17th, right above the relegation spots.
Like I said, Paul George did better at Wigan. Yeah, Derby. Sorry, was it Derby? Derby. Then my man. So. Yes, you got a trophy.
Great one.
the argument would be obviously, you know, Champions League football, see what he does with the injuries, because you got some injuries this season, whatever. But injuries or not, you should not be finishing 17th in a league, that's got Wolves, Palace, and them and their Everton in that league. You should not be finished below those teams. No. So the fact of the matter is, I don't think they could take the gamble of this could happen again. Yeah,
you know because it was. The problem is. And this is the thing. I'm still talking my heart, you know, is like he's a Tottenham legend. Yeah. This is the thing. He goes down as a legend. This is a man who's gone out in a blaze of glory. Literally gone out in a blaze of glory.
I wouldn't call it a blaze of glory. I'd say the fact that he backed to talk about second season done the job in it. Glory, but they will still remember they finished 17th. At the same time you finished, we won the league. The Europa League, they'll still remember you finished 17th.
But you know what? I think trophies trump.
Oh yeah, no, it does.
Trophies trump the thing. Do you understand? He did what? It's weird because he did what he said he was going to do, right? He did that. But again, this is what I'm saying. There are compelling arguments on either side.
Yeah,
that's the thing I have. I'm not necessarily as vociferous with my Ange in or Ange out side of things. There's some people who are just like crestfallen because he's gone. There's some Spurs fans who are just like jumping for joy. I'm not jumping for joy, but I understand, and I'm talking from a footballing perspective. The league results weren't good enough, so you killed yourself there. And the fact of the matter, we finished 5th.
Right. So here's a question for you now. Yeah, you finished 5th that season. You won a trophy this season. Do you think, had he been kept on, he'd been capable of giving you a trophy and a top 5 place?
You know the wickedest thing is, bro? I can't say I don't know because I don't know. Because you know the thing. No, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's. You know why I say I don't know? Because it's down. It was purely down to him, because he needed to change.
Yeah,
he needed to change tactically. Would he be willing to change tactically? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because tactically in Europa, in comparison to the league, were chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We defended for our lives from in the knockout stages.
Yeah.
And that won us the trophy. But again, that can't be sustainable for a league program, and definitely can't be sustainable for a Champions League program. So it's a conundrum. I think it's a difficult one there. But I understand the things. I understand why why he's gone.
Yeah.
But I also would have understood if he stayed because he.
Okay.
But it's so me personally. Yes, you can say Darren just sitting on the fence and rear. But I feel there's compelling arguments for both. However, my thing is always top down.
Yeah.
Top down approach.
Chrome spinning.
They are the culprits.
Yeah.
They are the culprits because their poor decision making has cost us for so many years. We shouldn't even be in this predicament. When we look at the Liverpools of this world, when we look at how Newcastle brought new owners in.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie Howe. I know you've had your ups and downs with Eddie Howe, but you know what? You're stable.
Yeah.
You understand? You're stable. We've been unstable from then till now, and this is the thing. It's rotten from the top down. If a new manager comes in,
That's what I wanted to ask you because they're saying that Thomas Frank is the favourite, right?
This is my thing here now.
Do you want him and do you think he's gonna come?
Who knows? I don't know if he's gonna come. I'm hearing all sorts of things. Talks are advanced. Thomas Frank, is he moving the needle for us? I don't think so.
And this is it.
And if you're gonna sack man who's won something, you got to bring somebody in who, because the fact of the matter is this: Ange knows how to win. He does.
Yeah.
He's gone everywhere, and the track record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
If I'm an agent of a manager like that,
yeah,
he's a dream for me.
Right.
Do you understand? Because all I have to do is dash his CV and say, look, he's done this and done that and that. Pause not, brother.
We big out here. We grow.
But you understand? Because he's got it. The silverware's there. The proof is in the pudding. He will go and get a big job elsewhere. He will go and get a very, very well paid job elsewhere. And I'm talking about Thomas. No, I don't think he'll go in the Prem. I think he'll go abroad.
Right, okay.
I think he'll go abroad. He might even do a national team, depending on what. But I think the offers are there. He's got good agents as well. He's got the top. He's got CAA base, who are some of the world's top agents. So they will, this Europa League win. A lot of teams are going to be looking and saying, "Yo, this brother can do something." But you see where Thomas Frank is concerned. I'm not saying he's not a good manager. That's the thing. He's a very good manager, but he's dependable and he's solid. But is he, for me, the question I ask, is he too middle of the road? Is he's done stuff with Brentford. He's done good things with Brentford, but he's kept them. Yes. My preference would be Glasner. That would be my preference.
Okay.
Glasner, because Glasner, great footballing philosophy. The way Palace play is great. The players he uses, and he changes, and he's adaptable. We need a fluid manager. A manager who is going to adapt to the situation at that time.
Preach, bro.
When Glasner lost the City, in it. Remember they lost, what was it, 5-2 or something? 5-2, yeah. And then he said to Pep, "Yo, next time I'll be a different team."
The first 20 minutes, as me and Dee was saying, it was at the time. The way Palace moved to these,
they moved to them,
I wouldn't put my chest out as much as that if my team conceded 5 in it. Obviously, you got your own back in the final, as controversial it was, but you saw. When the
thing about that though,
the game plan is in place.
And my man scored that penalty, and Dean Henderson been sent off. We were here with this thing about Pep because Pep would have cut us right. He told me this, and I still clapped him. You know what I mean? It's
true, but you know what? The proof is in the pudding, though. He got the job done, and those are the thing is, no disrespect, but the what ifs are the what ifs, isn't it? Yeah. We look at concrete facts.
Yeah. And
the concrete facts are you beat them in the final and won the FA Cup after they've done you 5-2. Yeah. That's what I look at. The concrete facts are that Ange won a trophy and wins trophies wherever he go. But also the concrete facts of the league. The league form. So we're just looking at facts. And
who finished high? Brentford or Palace? I don't even know.
No, Brentford. Palace was about 12, didn't they? Yeah. So
it's interesting because I've chatted to a Brentford fan this morning actually, and he's like, he obviously they're losing in Bremo, and now Thomas Frank looked at the guy and he said, you know what, Mbeumo's replaceable, but Thomas Frank isn't. He said, for what they did in the championship, he said, I think when he first come in, they didn't win their first 8 games or something like that. And then, you know, we know what they did in the championship. And then he's one of the only few managers that said, all right, let's change our style until we're stable in the Prem. And now he said this season they started to play more toward their old style where they were more fluid.
You saw it. Until they...
He can change, right? Thomas Frank can change. You know, he's well regarded. My thing from a Thomas Frank point of view is, why would you want to go to Spurs? I get, listen, Champions League football, big club, whatever, but all the other managers have gone there. They must have been told a lie by Levy, right, we've got money, we're going to do and it doesn't pan out. So when you're seeing that happen, then why would you want to think you're the one that's going to change things? This is what I don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, better kind of a player, you know, and also, you know, if you get sacked, you got a good compensation package. Yeah. But I'm not sure if he's the right fit for Spurs at this particular time. But like I said, you want someone who's going to move the needle. I think he'll get you more consistent in the league. I mean,
he's not going to finish 17th. He's not. But I'm talking with a Champions League campaign. Like,
is he able? He's never been to Europe.
No.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Is he going to be able to handle the
rigors of Europe?
At this Champions League where that quality is this high. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's going to be. But maybe he comes and Mbeumo don't sign for United and he goes to Spurs.
That's what I was just about to say. You read my mind. I was going to say, what if he could convince him?
Yeah.
One or two of the players. Him and Vissa, imagine.
We'll see. This is good, but not great. If you get what I'm saying, this is very good, but not great. I think we need somebody a higher caliber.
But I don't think you're at that stage to have a great.
You wouldn't take someone that got 19 Premier League goals and didn't even start with the.
Are you talking Mbeumo or Frank?
No, I'm talking Vissa.
Vissa. He said he doesn't.
Vissa.
No, I think Vissa. Why? I think he does a job there.
I think he thinks that he's got finishes in the locker.
He's been better this season, though. I'll give him that. He's been better this season.
19 goals.
I'll give him that. He's been better this season.
How many Solanke
but this,
How many did Solanke get?
Solanke 12. But you
In
know
the
what?
league? I'm talking.
Not in the league. 12,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying just in the league, Vissa got 19.
12 league goals.
No, I don't think he did.
Just in the league, Vissa got 19. That was the point I was saying.
That's what I thought he got 12 league goals. Okay.
And him working with his old manager, who would be able to unlock and get the best out of him as well.
Frank comes and if Vissa comes, but I'm still
Vissa. If not Glasner, then who? Because I don't think Glasner leaves Palace. Although they got
Glasner not leaving Palace. This is the thing. I know Glasner will leave Palace.
They in Europe, I looked at things.
So yeah, but that's a bit dread though. That's quite mad. That's quite nuts though. But the thing is, that's the question. I'm not entirely sure. Marco Silva, absolutely not. No. Overrated, completely overrated.
He's the second favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Nah, you see, this is what I'm saying. This is I'd prefer Thomas Frank far over Marco Silva.
To the listeners, isn't it? Yeah, from a Spurs neutral or Spurs fan, who would you like to? Who do you think's going to take over the job, and who do you think the best fit for the Spurs job? Get the tweet coming in.
Yeah, serious answers.